Yo guys, what is going on? Got a Hexeblaumon deck profile for you guys. This is a new archetype coming out of BT5 Battle of Omni, and prior to this, the blue Digivolution source manipulation kind of deck did have a lot of cool plays, but I really think Hexeblaumon puts it on a different level. This gives you a clear win condition and lets you really capitalize off of your opponent having no sources on their Digimon when things like the new Sora and Joe Tamer cards. So let's go ahead and get into it. So starting off with the level 3s, as always, I am playing 4 copies of Gomamon and 2 copies of Blue Gomon. These guys both do essentially the same thing. Both of them have the once per turn inherited effect, where whenever one of your opponent's Digimon has their Digivolution sources trashed, you get to gain 1 memory. Now this is super good, especially if you do have multiple of them out. You can resolve that multiple times. The only reason I'm playing 2 Blue Gomon is because he's a 4 cost and you really don't want to hard play him, so he's really only good when you're Digivolving from your breeding area. But you could definitely change up this ratio. I like 4 and 2. You could play 8 if you want to. That might be a little bit excessive, but hey, the more memory the better. As far as the other level 3s, we've got 2 Gabumon just for that, when attacking ability to discard one of your opponent's Digivolution sources, and helps out a lot just stacking this with your Angemon and with your Bukamon and with your Hexeblaumon and just getting all of your opponent's Digimon completely sourceless. And to help kind of go through your deck, you're playing 4 of the BT1 Gabumon. This is the on-play draw 1 card, just for consistency's sake. Now, I am actually only playing these 4 Digimon as far as level 3s. I'm only playing 12 level 3s, and the reason for that is because I am playing 4 copies of Tobyumon. This guy came out of BT4 Great Legend. He is a 3-to-play champion who's also a 1-to-Digivolve, so he's the Numamon for the deck. No matter what you're doing with him, you are going to be the most memory efficient as possible, and with this deck, when you are just trying to get to Hexeblaumon out as quickly as possible, sometimes that can be your only way to actually secure a victory. This guy is good in place of some other rookies. And to just help with the memory management more, I am playing 4 copies of Colamon. This is the 1-cost blocker for blue. We finally have that for, I think, all colors come this set, and so this helps out a lot, just getting the most out of your memory. I'm also playing 2 copies of Gorillamon, again, just another cheap 1-cost to Digivolve, as well as 2 copies of Angemon, who is only a 4 to play, but also his when attacking inherited effect is super powerful. You get to trash the bottom Digivolution card of any opponent's Digimon. It doesn't actually have to be like level 5 or lower like Gabumon, or I think Bukamon is also level 4 or lower, but this guy just helps out, stacking this with Hexeblaumon. Sometimes you can take all of the sources off of one of your opponent's Digimon in a single attack, so you really just want to get rid of every source your opponent has, because then that way you'll be able to control the board with Hexeblaumon. And now for the ultimates for the level 5s, I'm playing, of course, 4 Crispaldramon. This guy is both a Zudomon and a Weregurumon wrapped up into one. He has the one Digivolving effect, which is when you Digivolve him, you get to trash 1 source from the bottom of each of your opponent's Digimon. So all of them lose 1 source. So it doesn't matter if they have 5 or 10 or 20 Digimon, all of those guys lose 1 source. Works super well with Blue Gomon, Gomamon, all those kinds of cards. And not only that, it does have the Weregurumon inherited effect, where, if you are attacking when your opponent's Digimon doesn't have sources, you get to get security attack +1. So pair that with Hexeblaumon, who also gets jamming if your opponent doesn't have a Digimon with sources. It just works out really well and combines together for a very, very powerful combo. And then not only that, I am playing 2 copies of Zudomon. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you guys know I love this card. The when attacking inherited is super, super powerful, especially because it's not once per turn, and hence why I used to play it in like all force and stuff. But in this deck, you're just mainly getting it because you can stack with your Hexeblaumon, detach some sources and then just gain a memory. So there's plenty of ways to gain memories in this deck. You got the Gomamon, you got the Blue Gomon, as well as the Zudomon. So sometimes you can go +2, 3 memory in a single turn from just 1 attack. And then in addition to those guys, I am also playing 1 copy of Marine Chimeramon. It's kind of like this techie choice where you get to return 1 of your other Digimon to your hand and bounce back 1 of your opponent's Digimon with no sources. It kind of works like Chimeramon, but the opponent's Digimon can actually be any level, so it could be like a level 6 or a 7 as long as it doesn't have Digivolution sources. So this is what I mean by all of these new cards help facilitate this, strategy of just stripping your opponent's sources and just controlling the field through that. And then I'm also playing just one copy of Mock Galgamon. You get to bounce back a level 4 or lower, so this works really well when you're trying to go for game bounce back, a blocker, or just any problematic level 4. And this also does trigger, Gomamon and Bluecomon's effect, where you get to gain a memory if you do use his effect. And then now for the level 6s, I'm playing 4 copies of Hexeblaumon. This guy is the heart and soul of the deck, and unfortunately, it's also kind of the weakness, because if you don't get this guy set up quick enough, your opponent can just kind of outpace you. But he has a super powerful when attacking effect. You get to trash the bottom 2 sources. When your opponent's Digimon, you actually get jamming, and he won't be deleted by security Digimon. And not only that, but during all turns, your opponent's Digimon cannot attack, nor can they block if they do not have Digivolution source. So when you get rid of all of your opponent's sources, they are just really shit out of luck. And if they got like something like a level 7 that they just can't Digivolve, it's literally just going to be sitting there, and it's kind of hilarious when you get to that situation. But yeah, super powerful Digimon, just kind of basically everything's archetype needed. And to kind of help facilitate that, you are playing also 3 copies of Regulusmon. This guy is pretty cool. You get to, he's like a mini Hexablue. You get to trash the bottom source of one of your opponent's Digimon, and you also get to draw one and gain 1 memory from that, so it's just super sweet. It works very well with Zudomon and, Bluecomon them, so sometimes you can get like +3 memory on a single attack. I am also playing 1 copy of Zigurumon, just that other Digiburst target to return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon to their hand. So pretty strong card as well, just the 1 copy. So I think I like this lineup of 4, 3, and 1. You could realistically play like anything else, as long as you play 4 Hexeblaumon. I was also testing out Omnimon and stuff, but you kind of want to keep Hexeblaumon on field as long as possible, so I don't know, I didn't really like that. And then as far as the other cards, I'm playing 4 Absolute Blasts. This is the new option card out of BT5. It's super powerful. We finally have a return to the bottom of your deck option card, which is super strong. However, the only stipulation is that Digimon has to have 0 sources. This card also just inherently trashes 1 source from one of your opponent's Digimon, so that does help with that. And for a 6 cost, when you are resolving this a lot of times, especially when you get set up with your tamers and everything, it is a pretty solid card. Also, security effect activates the main effect, so can't really complain with that. And then as far as the tamers, I'm playing 4 of the Sora and Joe Tamer card. This card is so crazy. The dual tamers are insane. If your opponent does have a Digimon without sources at the start of your turn, just gain 2 memory. It stacks. It's super good. And as well as that, you also get to trash 2 cards from one of your opponent's Digimon every single time you attack it just by resting this. So if you got multiples of this, you can basically just like trash everything, like trash 2+ cards for each copy of this card that you have. And then not to mention, you've also got your other trashing effects from Gabumon and Bukamon and stuff. And then just 2 copies of Joe Kido. This is the BT2 Joe, where whenever you trash something, you get to spend him and gain a memory. And as far as the Digi, I'm playing 3 Upamon and 2 Bukamon. This is a weird ratio. I don't know which I like better, because on one hand, Bukamon helps you just trash sources faster, but on the other hand, once you get set up, he's kind of like useless. And once you get set up, you want something like Upamon, who gains you advantage for your opponents not having sources. So personally, I think in the future I might play like 4-1 or just like 4 Upamon, but I do kind of like Bukamon sometimes. I don't know, you guys can decide which one you like. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the video. Let me know what you guys did think of this deck profile. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.